In this episode, we talk about protein supplements, chocolate milk, and can you actually be in a calorie deficit and have it be super effortless? Hello everybody, welcome to Equals and Alternatives, episode 93. I'm your host, Mike Vacanti, and today we are reviewing Boost High Protein Drink. I meant to get chocolate. They didn't have chocolate. They had chocolate in their non-high protein variety, so it was either strawberry or vanilla. And normally strawberry artificially sweetened protein stuff, yeah, but I have a good hunch with the Boost, so I went strawberry over vanilla. Equal to TruMoo chocolate milk. And here, it's actually equal to Skim milk, Skim chocolate milk by TruMoo. They weren't carrying that at the CVS, so I went with the 1% variety. Even though 1% is going to taste slightly better, I wanted to taste them on camera because I'm very curious about the difference, but we'll have to put in a little hedge, a little buffer for the slight uptick in taste. This is like 40 more calories in 2 servings than the Skim. All right, what's going on here? Let's just dig right in because I think taste is the most relevant factor. It's marketed as a high protein supplement when the macros are actually super close to chocolate milk. Sugar is also high. I mean, this has a little bit more of total carbs from sugar than the Boost does, but pretty comparable. Pretty legit. My intuition was right. I think my grandma used to rock these back in the day, and that's when I first had these. It tastes, if you've ever had Quaker strawberry flavored oatmeal, or any kind of strawberry flavored oatmeal, it's that like slightly fake strawberry taste, but that actually tastes pretty good. It's kind of a toss-up. Depends what you like. I'm actually going to go with the Boost on this one for taste. But yeah, there's not a lot of difference here. And I think a lot of people, chocolate milk has gotten a better rap since whenever in the last 5 or 10 years it became popular to recommend chocolate milk as a good post-workout drink to replenish glycogen stores. And just to get some protein plus carb in post-workout. So I don't think this necessarily comes off as, oh, this very bad thing. But chocolate milk, it's basically milk with added sugar compared to a protein supplement. Anyway, I thought this was interesting. Nothing wrong with either of these. You don't need an alternative. I actually do like chocolate milk post-workout. I don't drink it because I would have to drink a lot to get enough protein, and I just don't have any interest in doing that. So either of these are fine. However, if you wanted a higher protein, lower carb option for whatever reason, whether it's post-workout, whether it's as a snack, I know that this has been an alternative on the show before, but not everyone watches every episode, and there just aren't that many alternatives, right? There aren't that many high protein, low calorie foods in life. Muscle Milk Pro Series, not regular muscle milk with the macros of 12 fat, 20 carb, 32 protein. The Pro Series has 40 protein, 7 carb, 3 fat. Super delicious too. Highly recommended. I'm not going to open this right now. It's Friday. I am going to answer a question of the day straight from my computer. I'm going to be doing more of this. I appreciate those of you who have been asking question of the days, both in YouTube comments and via email and Instagram and everywhere else. So I'm answering this. This dude, Josh, what's up? I'm gonna link you to this episode. Wrote literally 300 words in the subject line and then didn't include anything in the body of the email. I just think it's kind of funny. So he says, I'm Josh, I'm 16 years old. He's got a couple questions that I think are pretty common questions I get. I think you might find them valuable. Number 1, is it okay for me to do intermittent fasting? I'm assuming you're asking this because you're 16 years old. I don't know of any reason why you shouldn't not eat for 14 to 16 hours a day if your goal is fat loss. I would recommend most teenagers who are skinny fat, especially high schoolers, and I don't know that you are, but I'm speaking to those who haven't really lifted much but aren't fat, maybe in the 16 to 22% body fat but don't have a lot of muscle. I think it makes more sense to just start training, start strength training, add some volume, get in the gym and try to build muscle, just because you're growing and you're in a position where those additional calories, you're in a position where you can probably add muscle as fast, if not faster, than any other point in your life. So while it is completely up to personal preference whether you want less fat or more muscle in the immediate future, I would recommend for you building muscle as such. And you actually didn't include, or you did include your weight, 147, 5'7", which is kind of what led me to guess your body type, 31.5-inch waist, pretty small waist. Pretty good waist. If you do want to build muscle and that's your primary focus, intermittent fasting probably doesn't make sense, just from the perspective of getting enough calories in and maximizing muscle protein synthesis. 2, is it okay for me to drink black coffee? I'm not going to comment on the how much caffeine can I have if I'm X age and stunting growth and yada yada circus of debates, but you ask if you say you heard that it blunts appetite. Yes, caffeine blunts appetite, and if you want to drink coffee for the purposes of reducing hunger and staying in a deficit more easily, I would be cool with that. Number 3, how do I make hitting my macros and micronutrients while staying full all day very easy? He goes on to say, I've dieted so hard, eating only 1,500 calories a day, doing extreme cardio and boxing. I think I might have lost muscle. How can I prevent this from happening? So first, there's a lot more to this question, but that summarizes it. I'm getting the impression that you follow or are hearing advice from people who say that you can be in a calorie deficit completely effortlessly, which I don't disagree with for some people, but how easy it is for you to maintain a calorie deficit and for you to be full and satisfied in that deficit is going to depend on quite a few factors, including how long you have previously been in a deficit, how much lean mass you have. The more muscle you have, the higher your calorie maintenance, the higher your BMR. You are just going to be able to eat more, so you're going to have a higher calorie intake and still be able to be in a deficit. For most people, it isn't effortless. Losing fat isn't effortless. Maybe the first 2 or 3 or 4 weeks in a deficit, especially if you're coming out of being in a surplus, aren't super difficult, but in general, losing fat isn't easy. It's easier than it has to be, and it's easier than someone on a cleanse or someone eating super clean 24/7 will tell you, or someone with a huge fad diet belief and they think that's the only way to do it. Yes, flexible dieting is easier than that, but being in a calorie deficit is still a stress on your body, and as you lose weight and as your TDEE drops and as you have to decrease calories even further in time to lose enough fat to be at the point where you want to be, it's not always going to be super easy. So get busy, get active in life, mentally busy, do things. And I guess my tips are stay super hydrated, go ahead and play with meal timing, try 16/8 or some form of intermittent fasting, see how that goes. Keep protein high, don't have a super aggressive calorie deficit. It sounds like 1,500 would be lower than I would want you to be in, so bump that up to 1,800 calories at 147 pounds, get 147 grams of protein, and eat a lot of high volume foods, things like strawberries or watermelon that take up a lot of space in your stomach but don't have a ton of calories for the amount of volume. Keep fiber high, eat a lot of green veggies, and eat food you enjoy too. All right, that's it. If you're watching this on Friday, have an awesome weekend. If you're not watching this on Friday, have an awesome day. Remember, your body is still counting macros, even if you're not.